Oh. Hello, welcome to Wednesday's Functional Fitness Club. Sorry. So let me switch the television off. I just realised I forgot to switch the telly off. And let me switch this off. Oh dear, I'm woefully ill prepared today. So let me open the blinds. Sorry about that. I'm a bit ill prepared today. I don't know why. Welcome to Wednesday's class. I'm sorry I didn't put up a notification about it, but I totally forgot. I don't know what's the matter with me. Anyway, I don't know if any of you did the strengthening class on Monday. Some of you may have found it harder or easier than you expected. I'm not sure. I've had one or two people say they found the plank very challenging. If you're doing that class, I urge you to keep doing this one. Or if you're doing this one, I urge you to try that one. Because this class, although it works on strength, it also works on other things, balance, and it is a functional fitness class. So it's a class to get you generally fitter so that you can function better in your daily life. Daily activities are easier. So we look at flexibility, strength, coordination, and balance. Whereas the Monday class looks principally at strength, although those other elements come in as well. And the thing is, the Monday class, like this class, is you do what you can. And then as you get fitter, you are able to do a bit more. So if some people could only do the plank for a couple of seconds, absolutely fine. The plank police are not going to come and get you and force you to do it or force you to give up. If you're not able to do any of the exercises, like this one, if you're not able to do any of them, it's a sign that you need to do them more, because none of the exercises are impossible. Some of them may be difficult if you have arthritis. I know some people have arthritis in the wrists, or they have knees that it's not easy for them to kneel. For Monday, I urge you to get a mat. You don't really need a mat for this one, although it might be useful, but you don't really need a mat for this one. But I know if you've got hard flooring, it's difficult to kneel and it's difficult to put your elbows down, which you need to do in the strength one, but not this one. So this is the functional fitness class, and the one on Mondays is the strength class. And I'll keep them going for a couple of months and see how they're being received and things. So if you know anybody that you think might benefit from them, give them the link to my YouTube channel. Excuse me, I'm just going over here to see what time it is. The strap on the watch broke. I've used this watch for these watches for ages. They're a Casio, and they're really cheap. And the strap, but the only thing is with them, the strap breaks, and the strap costs more to replace. In fact, you can't really get them than the watch. But I'm very loath to throw the watch out because it's still a perfectly good watch. So I don't have a watch on my wrist. I have to have it roundabout. Right. With these classes, both classes, if you've got any feedback, I need feedback, because if I just go on thinking everything's okay, then nothing changes. I'd rather you gave me feedback and I can change it, rather than just not coming back to the class thinking, oh, that was awful, or I couldn't do that. Quite a lot of exercises, if it's impossible for you to do because of some sort of arthritis or anything like that, quite a lot of them can be adapted so that you still can do them. But not all of them. Some you just do need to be able to do, to get on your knees or various other things. As usual, if you haven't already, if you could subscribe to the channel. Subscribe sounds as if you're going to have to pay vast amounts of money, but it's not. It's just a way of liking it. But you can also like the class as well. So you can like the whole channel, and then you can like individual classes as well. And that just gives me, there's the postie. That gives me an indication of how people are liking it and things. And if you enjoy this class, Monday's class was totally free. But if you enjoy this class, you could maybe consider buying me a coffee. You don't have to. It's not. Oh, he's got no. Posty's got nothing for me. That means no bills, so that's quite good. There's no obligation, but if you want to buy me a coffee to show your appreciation, it's gratefully received. Monday is going to have the buy me a coffee link as well, and it's 11 o'clock. So, if you're new to the class, I don't think we have many new people, but if you're new to the class, you'll need a chair, and if you have one, you'll need a band, an exercise band. If you don't have an exercise band, you can still do the movements of the exercises and you will get benefit from them, just not quite as much as if you have the band. The dog scooted upstairs because I was using the Hoover and he's scared of the Hoover. So he's gone upstairs. Hopefully he won't, we went out for quite a long time before the class, so hopefully he's not going to interrupt. The class is in 3 parts. There's the warm-up, the main bit, and then stretching at the end. So when we finish, don't go shooting off thinking that we've finished. We've got the stretching to do. I'm just going to tilt this down slightly because I want you to be able to see my feet. Maybe that's a little bit too much. It's a very exact science, this tilting business. Don't know if that's any different. Anyway, we're going to start by marching on the spot. Marching on the spot is good because it's just good, but we don't need to do it too enthusiastically. On your toes if you can, and swing your arms so that you're in a slightly exaggerated way, so that your shoulders are getting warmed up as well, because as we know, joints need to be warmed up as well as muscles, because the synovial fluid thins and it's got vitamins and all sorts of goodies in it, and it feeds the cartilage. So it helps you if you've got any cartilage left in your knees. Some people haven't, but there has been some sort of, this running damages your knees baloney. There has been some research to show that actual exercise can regenerate cartilage. But I don't know how true that is. I would need to investigate that more. Anyway, so stopping walking for marching on the spot for just a little while. I'm just going to do this up a little bit. Right, that's a bit better. So hands on shoulders, arms up. Now, if you can get them there by your ears, fine. If you can only get them there, absolutely fine as well. What you can do is you can keep marching if you want, keep getting your legs and your knees and your ankles and everything all mobilized and warm. And then down, out to the side, back in, forward, and back, and then up, down, out, in, forward, back, and one more time. So up and down, out to the side, back in, forward, and back. I meant to ask, how are your muscles after Monday? Anybody suffering any ill effects? My actual triceps are a bit sore. Right, so staying with the shoulders, hand on your shoulder, make your arm like a wing, sticking straight out from the side. Imagine you've got a pencil sticking out, and we're going to do 5 big circles with that pencil backwards. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice full range of movement, and then forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the other one. And we're going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, last one for the shoulders. This is one I really like. It's actually a little bit, remember on Monday we did one lying down where we had to raise our arm like that. It's a little bit like that. It's just we're standing up, so it's slightly easier. So it's where one arm comes up and the other one comes back. and you're not rocking, you're just using your arms. So you're going up just as far as they'll go, don't force them. 2, nice and controlled, slow and controlled. 3, but make sure you get full range of movement. 4, or what's full range of movement for you? 5, 6, 7, 8. This is such a simple exercise. 9, and yet I think it's so effective. 10. Fabulous. Right, we're going to go into our little routine. So you start by doing heel digs, just a little heel dig. And then as you're doing the heel dig, anchor your elbows and you're doing a bicep curl. Woo! Did you notice that deliberate mistake? You're doing a bicep curl with the opposite arm. If you can, clench your fist. And that just tightens your muscles a bit. So 3, 2, 1. And then we're just going to put the leg out to the side. And at the same time, prayer hands out to the side, pushing the air away. I'm going a bit fast here, I'll slow down a bit. Just going nice and slow and controlled. And remember, when you're doing it, try not to let this knee, either knee, come in like that or like that. They should stay pushing forward, facing forwards. 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to take a step back, just a little step. Just dad your toe on behind you. And at the same time as we do that, hands start at your chest and you're pushing out. So as you go back, your arms come out. Coordination, this one as well, but also balance and strength. Again, make sure your knee doesn't go in like that or like that. Try and keep them facing forwards. Try and keep your hips, the headlights on your hips facing forwards as well. Don't sort of twist like that as you're doing it. 3, 2, 1. Last bit in this bit, just a toe tap. As you do that, just swing the opposite arm. Make sure your shoulders are moving as well, not just your forearms. Your whole arm swings. 3, 2, 1. Good. Right. Now, what we're going to do, I'm just going to move this chair because it's getting in the way a bit. We're going to just put all that together nice and slowly so that we get it imprinted in our long-term memory. So we're going to do the heel dig, and then we're going to go to the side, keeping the knees apart, back, and then the toe tap. So we're doing heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. One more time. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Right, I want to do some sort of moving to the side. It's going to be a bit difficult because I don't have much room here, but I'd like to go 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. When you do lift, try and keep your back straight. Don't curl your back. Sorry, start again. 1, 2, 3, up. 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 Right, what I'd quite like to do is to do a little twisting movement on this. So take your left leg behind and then bring this over, and then put your left leg in front and bring this behind. So we're going to go 1, 2, lift, and then put them down. 1, and then, right, yes. I'm going to turn round. So I want you to do this. We're only going to do 2 steps, and we're not going to lift legs at the end of it. So we're starting here, and we're going to put our right leg behind. Are we? Yes. So, are you ready? Can you see? So it's right leg behind, and then left leg back over, and then right leg in front, and bring it there. So behind, in front. Don't trip over your feet like I just nearly did. The other way, left leg over, behind, over. Does that make sense? We'll try it again. So if you're going to the left, you start with your right leg. So you're going back, over, over. Don't know how to explain it. Start again. So right leg comes behind, left leg goes beside. Right leg goes over, and the left leg just stands normally. So over, and then we're going the other way. So the left leg comes behind, the right leg goes over, the right leg goes on top. It's actually easier if you do it a bit faster. So is that making any sense to you? We'll do it one more time. So it's good. This one's good because I'm facing forwards just for the moment. As you do it, you can get a twist. Once you get the movement, you get a bit of a twist. You see footballers doing this. Keep this up and you'll be playing for a professional football team. So behind, over, behind, over, behind, over, behind, over. You do it on your toes as well, and you can actually, I can feel it's giving a bit of twist to my hips. Hello. Right. So we're just going to, oh no, we did that, didn't we? Let me just check the time. What have I done with the trouble is with having this watch without a strap is I keep losing it. Right. I feel fairly warm. It's not a cold day. I'm sure you're fairly warmed up. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the main body. And as usual, we're going to do the squat. Remember, a squat is sitting down without the chair. Your knees don't go over your toes. It's that motion. You keep your knees apart. You've got eyes on your chest, not looking at the floor. Your eyes are looking straight ahead. If you can't do, you go, sorry, getting a bit excited here. If you can only go down that far, that's fine. I'd rather that you went just a tiny bit down, but with good technique. Technique is everything in this to get the maximum benefit and to avoid injury, specifically on your knees. It's your thighs and your bum that take the strain. If you can't do a free squat, I'd actually be quite interested if you could give me some feedback about who can and can't, you know, if you're not able to do a free squat yet, I'd quite like some feedback. I'd quite like you to let me know. So sitting on the edge of the chair with your hands out here so you're not tempted to use them, you stand up and then you go back. If you can't do that, use momentum and sit down. And if that all else fails, use your arms, your hands on your knees to push yourself up. Okay? But you want to get to a stage where you can actually leave a chair, stand up from a chair without using your hands, any chair. Right, 10 squats. So I'll stand side on so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going down, nice and controlled, up nice and slowly. 1. Just clap your hands behind your bum at the end. 2. 3. The wider you have your feet, the easier it is. 4. 5. You should get into the habit of doing 10 squats every day. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Well done. I'm going to let you sit down now. So we're going into the seated row. So you need your band for this. If you haven't got a band, just do the arm movements. You could probably use a stronger band for this one if you have various strengths of band. So you're sitting here on the edge of the seat, legs out in front of you, toes pulled back. Put your band around your feet on the instep. Have quite a good tension there. This is where a stronger band might be more beneficial because you're using both arms. So you can pull fairly strong weight. Don't think that one band fits all. I'm sitting here now so you can see what I'm doing with my hands. So feet are out, straight out in front of you. Heels are on the ground. The heels never leave the ground. You're not rocking, you're just sitting upright and your arms come back like that. Imagine you've got a pound between your shoulder blades, you're trying to squidge it. Your arms aren't out here or up here. So 1. And your hands stick fairly close to your thighs. 2. 3. 4. 5. I mean, you can tighten the tension on this. 6. But eventually the band's going to give if you do it too much. 7. 8. 9. 10. Right, staying seated. I'm going to put the band. If you haven't got a band, this one's a bit more difficult for you. Put your band under your knees, cross the band over, and hold it with your hands. Don't let the band slip through your hands. And then you're going to open your legs until your thighs are parallel. And you're having to actually actively use the muscles to keep your thighs parallel. And then you're going to open as wide as you can. Your feet probably will tip on their side, but don't take them off the floor or anything. And then back to parallel. Again, you could probably use a stronger band with this one if you're finding this too easy. I find if you tighten the band on this one, it tends to dig into your knees a bit. So, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should feel it on the side of your thigh. 7. I'm starting to feel that now. 8. Don't do it too fast. Do it the same speed I'm doing it. 9. 10. Fabulous. Right. We're going to do the bicep curl now. So you want your band. For this one, you can still maybe try the stronger band as well. But arms, one arm at a time tends to be a bit weaker. Anchor your elbow and have some tension so that when your forearm is about 45 degrees, you actually need to use this muscle to keep it there. If you didn't, it would just flop down. So a bit of tension on the band. And we're just going to close the arm like that, not lifting. The elbow stays anchored. So we're going to go 1, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only the forearm moves. 7, 8, 9, 10. And then switch over. As I've said before many times, when you're doing an exercise, because when you exercise, the body adapts. What you know yourself, what feels difficult, really difficult one week, after several weeks of doing it, won't feel as difficult. The body adapts. So in order to keep that amount of fitness, you need to progress. I can't remember what the point was that I was doing with this. Oh yes. So every time, if you're doing this and it feels really easy towards 10, get a heavier band or put more tension on it. Each exercise, you should, when you get to 10, you should think, oh, I'm glad that's over. So 1, 2, that's why I alternate legs and arms. 3, so that 4, you're not getting too tired. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course, this exercise, as well as improving your biceps, improves your grip because you have to hold on to it fairly tightly. Right, we're going to do a bit of balancing now. So get your chair, because the balance is important, but it's more important that you don't fall over. So if you need to hold on, that's absolutely fine. What we're going to do is we're going to just lift one leg parallel to the floor and then lift it slightly more and then put it down, place it down. If you're hardcore, when it's up there, instead of lifting it up, you could actually straighten it if you wanted, but that's really hard. So we're going to engage core, which is the band of muscles, your corset of muscles, which are not just on the outside, they're deep inside your body as well. They support your vertical, your vertebrae, your spinal column, that's what I'm trying to say. So we're going to exhale, pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can. Shouldn't be seeing anything, there shouldn't be any movements, just pulling that in, and then release it slightly so that you're not really tightening it. And then put your hands on your hips and lift that leg. And then lift it slightly more. And then put it down, but don't put your weight on it, just touch it on the floor. And then up again. And up. That's 2. We're going to do 10 on each side. I do 10 of most exercises. And then up. 3. Of course, this is exercising your static leg as well, because it's taking all the strain. 4. Mine's getting quite tired now, actually. 5. Sorry. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I remember, I don't know if you're doing it today, Maggie, but it's Maggie's birthday today, so happy birthday, Maggie. Right, exhale. Pull your navel into your backbone, release it slightly, and hands on hips or holding on if you need to. You're going to go up. 1. If you can't get your thigh parallel to the floor, just get it where you can. 2. This is a hard exercise. 3. So if you're managing to do it, you're doing really well. 4. 5. 6. 7. My static leg is feeling it now. 8. 9. Last one. 10. That was hard. If you managed all that, kudos, well done. Woo! Right, upright row. So if you haven't got a band, hold your thumb with your other hand. That's just to keep that V, because I don't want your hands flying apart. If you're struggling to do this with a band, because this is quite a hard one, technically, it's technique in this one. If you're struggling to do it with a band, start off without the band until you can get the technique, because what you're doing is you're going up elbow first, so that that V is always there. I've seen people try and get their hands up to their chin and it's like that. I don't care how high your hands go, as long as your elbows are always above your hands. If you're using the band, you stand on it and you cross it over. And come in now so you can see what I'm doing. Your hands are together. Try and keep your forearm, your wrist and your hand in one line. Imagine it's a board. And you're going to stand up nice and straight, shoulders nice and relaxed. It's only your arms that move. We're going to go 1, nice and slow, controlled descent. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. Well done. Right, we're going to now work on the abs a bit. So if you sit sideways in the chair, ooh, falling over here, try not to trip over the legs of the chair like I just did. Sit so that you've got a little bit of seat behind you. We're sitting sideways so that you can lean back further, but also so that you can hold onto the back if you need to. So sitting up nice and straight, straighten your arms and have them so that your middle finger is just at the top of your, what's it called? Kneecap, that's the word. Seen your moment there. And then lean back so that, just enough so that your finger's about 2 inches further up your knee, your thigh. So up to about, back to about there. Not right back like that, because that puts a strain on your back. Just a little bit back, and then we're going to just raise our legs. 1, 2, 3. Those of you that found the plank hard on Monday, 4. Your stomach muscles might be shouting a bit at you. 5, 6, 7. Put your hands here if you want. Hold on if you want, it's up to you. 8, 9, 10. Sitting forward. The only reason I'm saying to put your hands on your thighs is so that you can judge how far back to go by your little finger and your kneecap. So we're going to go do that one more time. So back you go. 1, 2. If you do that, you can feel those muscles. 3, 4, 5, 6. My muscles are shouting at me a bit more now. 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo, woo. That was quite fierce as well. Right, we're going to do the triceps, which are these muscles on the back of your arms. So this is the one where you have the band over one shoulder. The hand behind you is the one that controls the tension on the band. And this arm is like this. Okay, if you've got problems with your shoulder, I'll show you. What we're going to do is, if your hand's like this, we're just going to push it up to the ceiling. It's only your forearm that moves, not your shoulder. If you've got problems with your shoulders, bring your arm down here. Release the tension accordingly, obviously, and point to the floor. Point your forearm to the floor. Okay, so we're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then swap arms. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was quite hard because of doing the press-ups on Monday. These muscles are slightly tender, so that was quite hard. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to do some more squats or some standing in the chairs. We're going to do 10. Okay, so 1, nice and slow and controlled. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm always falling back because your weight should be on the heels. 8, 9. Whoa, again, 10. Right, My least favourite side bends. If you're doing the side planks, these should get easier actually. Right, feet hip width apart. We're just going to go down to the side. Remember, if you're going to bring your hand over, you don't have to. Keep it straight so that you're actually working, actively working those muscles as well. No muscle movement is wasted. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Top banana. Well done. Right. We're just going to, got 2 more things to do before we finish. So we're just going to do our little routine. I'm going to do this slowly for 3 times, and then we'll speed it up a bit. So heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig. Oh, I said I'd do it slowly, didn't I? Side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Right, so if you've got music, put the music on. I've got music in my head, obviously, copyright and all that. So we're going to go heel dig, side, back, toe tap. 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 One last time. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Right, now to finish, those of you that are regulars will be starting to recognize this bit. What we're going to finish with is 3 bouts of 20 seconds each of high intensity exercise, and that is going to consist of running as quickly as you can on the spot, just like this. Don't hunch your shoulders, use your arms, and the legs are going very fast like that. Not big steps, just tiny little steps, hardly leaving the floor on your toes. Now, this is entirely voluntary. I mean, all of it's voluntary, obviously, but if you want to sit this bit out until we get to the stretching, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, if you get any heart pain, anything like that, stop immediately. The object of this exercise is to raise your heart rate, get you puffing a bit, warm up all your muscles so you're ready for stretching. So, are you ready? On your marks, set, go. 20 seconds is a long time when you're doing this. Obviously, I'm not doing it because I have to be the timekeeper. 17, 18, 19, 20. Oops. How was that? You should be breathing quite heavily and your heart should be pounding a bit. But remember, it's not how fast your heart beats. Well, that does come into it, but it's how quickly you recover that's a measure of how fit you are, or one of the measures of how fit you are. Right. Ready for the second one? Right, okay. On your marks, set, go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Ah. How was that? I mean, this is the thing, I'm talking into a void. For all I know, you could all be sitting there having a fag and a cup of coffee waiting for this bit to finish so that you can be starting the stretching. I know some people do it because they say they like it, but I'm just taking it on trust that you're doing it. That's how it goes. If at the end of this, don't rush off at the end of this 20-second one because we've got the stretching to do. I know it's people, when I used to run a class, a physical class, do you remember those days when you used to be able to actually meet people? People used to get to the end of this and think, oh, good, start putting their coats on. Say, no, you've got stretching yet. Right, how is that? Are you recovering? I can't give you as long as you would maybe get if you were in a gym or something, because it's we'd be here forever. Right, on your marks, set, go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Fabulous, well done. And if you're sitting having a fag and a cup of coffee, put your fag out now because we're going to be doing some stretching. This is going to sound like desperation, but this is where I usually say, if you've enjoyed it, the link for Buy Me a Coffee is on the is on in the notifications of the underneath the video on YouTube. I put it like that because when you get it up on YouTube, the video up on YouTube, there are comments and things underneath. So if you're recovering, we'll start by doing a calf stretch. So get your chair, front leg is bent, back leg is straight, both heels on the ground. Just have a look at your feet to check that they're both pointing in the same direction. Sometimes it's easy to think your feet are pointing in the same direction, and then you look down and they're not. So just leaning forward. Should feel the stretch at the top of your calf. And then gently bend your back knee. Your heel will come off the ground, but you should feel the stretch moving down into your Achilles tendon and your lower calf. And then switch legs. Just check your feet are pointing in the same direction. Bend your back knee slightly. Get your heel off the ground. Feel the stretch moving down into your lower leg. Okay, right, we're going to do the quadriceps, the thigh muscles here. So if you can, grab your foot, your shoe, your sock, your trouser bottom, and keep your knees together if you can, standing up nice and straight. You can hold on or not, This is not a balancing exercise, but it's good to practice your balance whenever you can. If you can't get your hold of your foot, do dynamic stretching, which is doing this. Put your hands behind you. See if you can kick your bum. Sorry, kick your hands when you're doing it. Don't force it though. If you can't, it doesn't matter. You're still stretching this. Right. Static stretches. We're going to hold this a little bit longer. A few more seconds. Dynamic stretches. Keep doing it. And then switch over. Dynamic stretchers, keep doing this. Static stretchers, do the other leg. Look, Ma, no hands. Shouldn't have said that. I can feel myself wobbling now. Okay, stop. We're going to do the hamstrings now. So these big muscles on the back of your legs. So sitting at the very front of the chair, knees at 90 degrees, ankles under your knees, sitting up nice and straight. One leg out, toe pulled back. Sit up nice and straight and lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. This is a stretch where I get most grunts and groans. So remember, it's your stretch. You do it to your ability. It should be challenging, but not painful. If it's painful, stop immediately. Pain is not the way of saying you're getting gain. It's the way of saying something's going wrong. And then sit up. And repeat on the other side. Remember, forward from the hips, not from the waist. Okay, standing up. Look at that. I stood up and used my hands on my knees. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that. Hands out to the side, palms facing forwards, and then it's round the tree. So your hands are like that, not like that. And nice and round. And then dip your head. So you're like this. So you're stretching these muscles here. Mine there are continually tight. So I find this stretch quite beneficial. And then if you can, interlink your fingers behind your back. If you can't, get your elbows. Try and get your elbows together. Obviously, you're not going to be able to. If you're interlinking your fingers, lift your arms like that, just so that you get a good stretch across here. Okay, release. And then put your hand up, palm facing backwards, down your back. If you've got mobility problems with your shoulders, just leave this one out. And then just pull that back slightly so that you're stretching this bit here. Unless you can get your hand like this, you won't really get much benefit from this. So unless you can do this, I would just leave this one out. And then release it. And then back. Okay, then we're going to sit down again and just sitting comfortably in the chair, but with your own back supporting you, not the back of the chair. Shoulders nice and relaxed, just dip your head. Put your hand on your crown, but don't push, just let the weight of your hand push your head down. And then look up, then turn your head to the left as far as it will go. Just your head, don't use your shoulders. Put your right hand on the right hand side of your face or your jaw, and try and turn your head back to the center like that, but resist with this hand. So you're creating tension in your neck. And then release that tension and see, you turn your head back to the left again. And you should be able to turn it a little bit further than you could before you created that resistance. And then bring your head back to the center. And then turn it to the right. Left hand on left bit of the jaw. Try and turn your head back to the center. Resist, resist. Create all that tension in your neck. And then release the tension and turn your head slightly further to the right. And then bring your head back to the center. And that is it. Thank you very much for attending. Bending down so you can see me. Hopefully see some of you for the strength session on Monday at 11 o'clock. Yeah, I should have said about the strength session. Did I say? Yes, I did. Get a mat. You'll need a chair and a mat, but not a band. Okay? Unless you've got carpet. Carpet's okay. It's just to cushion you. Bye.